Good morning to you or your state. Good morning, Nigeria. Thank you for tuning in this great morning on 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Today is Friday, the 4th of July 2025. Welcome to the program. Right from our studio here, it is 6:33 a.m. I hope you're well and your household is doing great this beautiful morning. It rained cat and dog here in Ibadan, the capital of your state, yesterday. And I want to believe that we're definitely going to be opening our eyes to great stories today. Hopefully no flood anywhere. Hopefully no flood anywhere. But remember, this is July and we're definitely right at the center of the raining season. So it's going to be dropping hard. More these days. Let's be very careful the way we manage our waterways to keep our state free of erosion and flooding in 2025. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. It's a brand new day, and of course, the headlines are totally all about politics. Today, this morning, the political temperature across the nation is rising once again, and not because of the weather. Definitely, but coalitions, alignments, and backroom meetings are dominating the front pages of the newspaper. Nigeria's political chessboard is being rearranged, and the kings, the queens, and the bishops and pawns are moving really fast when it comes to what the politics or political temperature or scene is looking like this morning. Moving on from Abuja to the grassroots, the game is on. And the former, foes are becoming strangers when it comes to the game. Old alliances are cracking and new ones are definitely emerging. The question on everyone's mind is who's teaming up with who and with what? Is it all about the people or the power? Is this the beginning of the united front for the 2027 elections or just another round of political musical chairs? This morning, we'll be diving into trending stories and major stories in Nigeria this morning with in-depth analysis. But first, we go through the front pages. This morning, we have The Punch, followed by the Nigerian Tribune and the Guardian newspaper. We look at the three of them, serve you the headlines from the front page, and then we dive straight into conversation for today. It's Perspectives Unlimited, not just our own perspective here. As a matter of fact, not just the perspective of our analyst, but also your perspective. And that is why we open our studio lines for you to share your thought. But not just to tear Nigeria apart or to complain, but also to prefer a solution so we can build our nation together. Welcome to the show again. We start with the Punch newspaper for this morning. In the world of sports, on page 30, tribute as Eagles legend Rufai dies at 61. May God rest his soul. Amen. Moving on to page 21, capital projects got only 20% of 25 trillion naira 2024 spending. Capital projects got only 20% of 2025 trillion Naira 2024 spending. You find it on page 21. Moving on to page 22. ECOWAS bank approve $100 million for Lagos Calabar Highway. ECOWAS bank approves $100 million for Lagos and Calabar Highway. And let's go to the major story this morning on the Punch newspaper. 2027 showdown. Coalition slams Tinubu as Wike ADC trade blows. That's the major story on page 2 this morning. The writer says presidency brands ADC leaders serial election losers. FCT minister attacks Mark, orders coalition kicks. Oh wow. Let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune this morning. All right, what do we have here? The Patriot Constitutional Summit, 700 delegates to brainstorm on way forward for Nigeria. On page 2, conveners to present report to Tinubu, Nance. Each ethnic nationality movement to have 20 representatives, govs to spend 24 to send 24 delegates each to the Patriot Constitutional Summit. And to page 3, coalition, Enadi Usman, Abure camps resume tackles after Obi's romance with ADC. Is Peter Obi still a member of the Labour Party? Well, that's a big question, and hopefully we can get answers to that today. Peter Rufai dies at 61. Zenith Bank ranked number 1 tier 1 bank in Nigeria for the 16th time. That story is on the Tribune for today. Let's move on quickly to the Guardian newspaper. 2027 election. We have this cartoon, two hands, one of the APC, another of coalition, and what we have here is a tug of war. The two of them standing, strong and pulling the rope on both sides, APC on the left and the coalition on the right. Illusion of harmony when politicians unite in power pursuit. Sans governance. It's on the big story page 4 and 5. On page 7, Senate begins public hearing on constitution review in Lagos. NMA fault federal government exports of doctors, skilled workers to St. Lucia. Atiku flays Tinubu over Trump's snub of Nigeria. An APC convened South-South Summit in Edo. On page 6, 2027, I Love Nigeria. Other groups seek INEC registration as party. Weekend knocks opposition coalition as desperate power ploy defends Rivers peace move. And that's all we can take this morning on the program, especially on the fourth segment, which is where we look at the top stories for today across major dailies. We read from the Punch newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, and the Guardian. Once again, thank you for joining us. Watch us live on our Facebook platform, our Facebook page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. That's on our Facebook page. Like us, drop your comment, and share the video. Also, you can watch us live on our YouTube channel, Wells Radio 89.3 FM on YouTube, and listen to us across all our platforms. www.wellsradio893.com. That's our website. And also Wells Radio 89.3 FM on Radio Garden, on Radio Box, and other streaming platforms this morning. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay with us.
Have given impetus for our collective endorsement for leadership regime at all levels came from our NEC members and our NWC. All our close meetings, we agreed that the nation is our focus. The endorsement that we got and which we today going to give to distinguished Senator David Mack. This is the vote of the coalition! ADC!
This is the bold new path we declare today, a path of unity over division, service over slogans, action over excuses, compassion over inhumanity, transparency over opacity, inclusion over nepotism, real progress over endless rhetoric, performance over empty promises, rule of law over impunity, and justice over iniquity.
PDP, as far as PDP was concerned, nobody can remove them from office. Why? Incumbency. The power of the people is by far greater than incumbency. How was the Prime Minister of Bangladesh chased out of office? The people. But when the people want their power back, you can't stop them. So ADC has just one responsibility. Don't campaign for an ADC president. Campaign that the people must come out. Because what the president is doing, and the APC is doing is to increase voter apathy so that nobody comes out that day.
In principle, you understand, I consider myself a member of that coalition. That's what I'm telling you. Coalition has officially adopted ADC. That's why you have this cap. And it was distributed, and I wore it very proudly today. My soul has already left PDP. It's my body that remains. And a lot of people misconstrued it to mean that, oh, another one is on his way to APC. No, I have no business with APC. And I won't have any business with APC because of the nature and character of the operatives of that party. A lot of people that you saw today, even I was surprised to see them join the coalition. It is out of deep frustration. They will have to collapse their structures for the coalition to work. That's why they are there. Peter Obi is not a time waster.
As regarding the protests, we actually met the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, the Secretariat. He told us His Excellency is not around. We went for a meeting, but they gave us the 3 days ultimatum to give us the response about the protest of ours, like our grievances. Since we've dropped and we've done the necessary things, we dropped the letter to the Deputy Governor to deliver it to His Excellency Engineer Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. But we're still expecting the feedback because we believe that His Excellency is the father of all students in Oyo State, whereby he will surely listening to our grievances in form of retaining our institution's name to be the Polytechnic Ibadan instead of renaming it to Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic Ibadan. We believe he will surely listen to our grievances, and we believe our name will be retained as the Polytechnic Ibadan because His Excellency happened to be the father of all students in Oyo State as it is.
Welcome back to the program. Maybe you grab your tea because the weather is cold, your paper, and maybe your calculator because some of these political equations are not solving or adding up at all. With me in the studio this morning, Mr. Olale Konsoni joins us to make sense of all of the stories we will be looking at today, most especially as major dailies in Nigeria is all about coalition, APC, PDP, ADC. We'll try our best to touch down on probably other human angle stories, so we don't just, further increase the temperature of what is happening in the political scene. However, you can also join the conversation, but in a very diplomatic way this morning. Like I said, the political temperature is high, and we do not want to increase it further to, higher degrees that we may not be able to handle. Top of the morning to you today. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm very well, except for some of the, drama we're seeing as regards politics, which is a concern, especially where a nation stands at a time like this. Again, on top of it all, I keep saying this is 2025. Today is the 4th of July. And then if you look at, if not all of the dailies in Nigeria today, you see riders, headlines about 2027. And that will make you pause for a moment to check your date and the year again to be sure you are not missing out on something. But again, we're still in 2025, 4th of July, 2025. The top story of the week is all about the African Democratic Congress, which seem to bear another name as coalition at the moment. And of course, we're seeing some of the big names in alignment with that coalition, which says, most of them are saying their decision is following deep reflection on Nigeria's current challenges and the urgency for collective action. On top of that list is we have the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and also the former Senate President, Senator David Mark, the former governor of Osun State and Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, and some other key figures. We played just a while ago the voice of Bashorun Dele Momodu, who also, said is in alignment with the coalition. But coalition all over the place. Most of them are saying they are in alignment. On the flip side to that story, we're seeing the Labour Party yesterday also demanding Peter Obi's resignation between 48 hours. Another part of that, of the party seemed to be indifferent as to whether Peter Obi should resign, or not. Again, the presidential candidate of the ADC in the last election, I think his name is Kachuku.
Yes, Dumebi Kachuku.
Dumebi Kachuku is also speaking up and might be suing INEC as regards some of the things we're saying. To a lot of people, ADC sounds very new, maybe a new political party. Some would have thought it's a new establishment for this coalition, only to find out that they had a presidential candidate in the last election. And the big names, in alignment with the party, Senator David Mark, Rauf Aregbesola, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, these are some of the key names in Nigerian politics. Not anyone at the moment, has come out to say, I am now a member of this political party. All we are getting is coalition, and coalition. I would want you to, dissect this for us a bit and the reaction the Nigerians are getting in line with this. Do you see this, coalition strong enough, to go head on, as the Guardian newspaper describes it this morning? It seemed to be the 2027 election will be just between two political parties, so to say, the APC and the coalition. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Obi, El-Rufai, and Rotimi Amici. These are the pictures, tied to the 2027 election. Amici says that coalition is the voice of the people. Is the ADC the voice of the people? Let me get your view, Mr. Laliko Sonny.
Thank you very much. To start with, people are beginning to resign from their previous parties and are now joining the ADC officially. Senator David Mark issued a letter that he displayed to the whole world that he has resigned his membership from the PDP, that he is now a member of the ADC, his membership of the PDP, and that he is now a member of the ADC. And it's exactly the same for Rotimi Amici too. He told the whole world that he has left the APC for the ADC. As regards being the voice of the people, it's rather too early to decide if it's the voice of the people or it's just the voice of a group of people. But I like one thing about what is happening right now, and it's that for the first time since 2023, we have a real opposition party. The PDP has lost its teeth. It can no longer bite. In fact, it doesn't even bark anymore. The Labour Party is also suffering the same fate. And it's not because of the inefficiencies of the operators of these parties. It's because some people within the party decided to sell their souls to members to the ruling party. And, you can't rule out the work of Wike in the PDP and people like Apapa within the Labour Party. These are people who elaborate. These are people who are members of the party but have decided to work against the interest of the party, at least in my own interest. 2027 is as good as tomorrow, my dear brother. Politicians know exactly what they are doing. The question is, do Nigerians know what they are doing? 2027 is not just going to come out of nowhere. 2026 is what is going to bring 2027. They are all telling us 2027, but in reality, their primary focus right now is on 2026. And the reason for that is that 2026 is when you are going to have the candidates. This time next year, all the candidates would have been known. If you are not the candidate of your party, you have no business with 2027. So that is why they are running around here, doing all the alignments and realignments so that they can become the presidential candidates of their party at the presidential level or the gubernatorial candidate of their party at the state level. So that is exactly why there is no much time to say, okay, we want to wait, we want to do this, we want to do that. And something is instructive at this particular point in time. If you see the political space getting heated up, especially in the ranks of the opposition, it tells you that the incumbent president is not doing enough, or governor, as the case may be. If it's a case of, this guy knows exactly what he's doing, people won't be fighting, because it's a case of, why do you want to waste your money? 2011, when Fashola wanted to recontest in Lagos, it was the last one that the PDP decided to field somebody, Adedo Somom. This is not even a big name in the PDP of Lagos. PDP, yeah. They just said, let it not be as if you are going to field the candidate. Yeah. But if they are running around, there's a term for it, they call it smelling blood, like sharks. Like if they feel like the incumbent administration is not doing enough, like the incumbent administration is not getting the support of the people, then they say this is an opportunity to step into his shoes. And they begin to run around to say, okay, let me position myself here, let me position myself there so that I can get the ticket of this party, this popular party, and with that, I can sweep this guy out. So in all seriousness, I see this jostling, this hustling and bustling within the political space, especially in the ranks of the opposition, as a sign that the incumbent president is not totally, at least in their opinion, and in my opinion too, is not totally doing well. I cited an example yesterday. Umar Musa Yar'Adua, he died just a year to the next election. And up to the moment he died, nobody was talking about 2011. And the reason for that was because they knew that this guy was doing well. Nigerians loved him. That if he was going to be okay at any point in time and I was going to contest, there was no way anybody could defeat him. And that was why nobody said anything. But it's a different ball game now, simply because the difference is clear. So for me, I want Nigerians to, I'm not rooting or canvassing for the opposition, for the ADC, but I want Nigerians to see it as an alternative. Let's listen to them. I mean, there are going to be criticisms of this current administration. The PDP has not been doing that. The HLP has not been allowed to do that. But now we have people who are politically independent, people who are not likely to be influenced easily. So Nigerians are going to see how far their country has gone, if it's in the right direction or in the wrong direction.
Should this bother Nigerians? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has said this publicly, has been looking at the presidential since 1993. That's about 32 years now. We also have Senator David Mark, who here some week described as said all of his years in the Senate didn't do bring development to his own local government or state in Benue State. Rauf Aregbesola, also a governor, former governor of Osun State and also minister. And people have also, point out that certain things. I remember that Dumebi Kachukwu, the presidential candidate of the ADC, on a television interview said all of these old people, from one political party, people that he probably read, from the dailies or also watched on television while growing up. Is this coalition going to worth it eventually for Nigerians? Cross-carpeting is not new. Is this not another form of cross-carpeting and worth the time of Nigerians to say this is truly an alternative? Are these not people who truly want to rule and also looking for an opportunity, a fresh start really, to gain the attention of Nigerians?
I am not convinced that Nigeria is going to move from 0 to 100 within 2 years. I have to be very, very practical here. I am not saying the people who are coming on board as the people who are going to apply, people who want to come on board as people who are going to make Nigeria become a paradise overnight. However, I have looked at the people there, and I can tell you that there are still positive things that you can say about them, especially when they were in office. I'm not a very big fan of Aregbesola, but go to Osun State. The infrastructure he did there is still there till tomorrow. It's still standing. That's that. When David Mark was president, there was, despite the fact that he was the number 3 man, you could see that, and he was a PDP man then. When we had PDP presidents, the arguments on the floor of the Senate then were robust. I mean, we didn't have a rubber stamp Senate then. Countless people were rejected. Presidential nominees, they were rejected without using the SSS or anybody to say, oh, this person is guilty of whatever. The Senate tested people and they felt like, oh, these guys are not sound enough. We're not going to approve your ministerial position. That is that. Even borrowings. And when the executive arm of government wanted to borrow then, they would invite ministers. They would invite people in government to come and explain how exactly do you want to spend this money. Right now, we are not having that. in all seriousness, I think it's unfair to say, "Oh, it's because because somebody is doing this, they're going to do that." I have looked at them. They may not be the people I would naturally want to be president or vice president of my country right now, but I think it's still going to be a right step in the right direction, if only for the fact that we register it in the minds of politicians that we are not going to endorse failure. If you do well, we keep you there. If you do not do well, we are going to kick you out. That I know too well. We send a message to politicians that it's no longer business as usual. I said it yesterday here as well. Goodluck Jonathan said something not too long ago. He said the darkest moment of his life was when he lost election. That he felt like heaven was going to crash on his head. That, are you serious? This is me? He said it that his phones were always beeping and ringing such that he couldn't even pick calls. But the day he lost election was the day he knew that. In fact, he had to switch off his phone and switch it on back. Is this phone still working?
To be sure.
To be sure if the phone was working. And Ruben Abati, his media head, then said that 8 o'clock, even 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes, he said 6 o'clock in the morning that even before waking up, he would wake up, countless missed calls, people wanting to come to the office to see the president. But the day they lost election. Nobody called, nobody visited. The section of the office of the villa was like a ghost town.
We're going to take a break now. When we come back after the break, we're going to look at who exactly of all of these big names will be the presidential candidates. And that's another battle, hopefully knocking at the doors of the coalition party. We'll look at that and more when we come back. Do stay with us.
Wells Radio, 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Hi, this is Nene from the boat safety team. You can't see us, but we're right here with you on every boat ride. To your left is the ride insurance team. We insure your ride as soon as your trip starts. To your right is the record audio team. We keep a recording of your trip for 24 hours in case you need it later. And behind you is the customer support team, ready to chat 24/7. We're the boat safety team, by your side on every ride.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Give your child the gift of excellence at Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Are you searching for a school where top quality education meets care, love, and safety? A school where skilled professionals ignite young minds in an environment that stimulates learning, creativity, and moral growth? Do you desire a school that offers rich academic curricula designed to prepare your child for local and international examinations, opening doors to future success both within and outside Nigeria? At Juniors International School, we don't just educate, we discover and nurture each child's unique aptitude while molding them into highly productive global citizens driven by godly principles. Join us on the journey of raising tomorrow's leaders. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Friday, 1st August 2025. Venue, Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence. Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Yomi on 0706 616 5053. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited. Thank you for standing by. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-893, and also 0911-333-893. I'll take the studio lines again. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-893, and 0911-333-893. Those are the numbers to call this morning to join the conversation.
Wrapping up my earlier conversation, by the time another person experiences what Goodluck Jonathan experienced then, and maybe the third or fourth guy, people are going to say, I don't want to be like these people. Let me just do what is right so that I don't suffer the fate they suffered. Nigeria, the truth of the matter is that Nigeria is a young democracy. We may be complaining, and it's natural to complain because we want more than enough. We want things to go round. But place us beside the United States of America. The U.S. democracy is around 300 years old. Ours is just 26 years. So, it may be unwise to say we should be saying the same thing. They didn't get there at once. It was a gradual process. So I say this as part of the learning curve for Nigerians. What we should not do is to miss the opportunity. We need to send that message so that we can instill fear. Ruti Amici said something yesterday. He said no power of incumbency is as powerful as the power of the people. That it's what the people want that will always happen.
How do we send that message? Because again, the concern of, just like I said, Atiku Abubakar is there, the former presidential candidate of the PDP, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, David Mark, a former Senate president, that I believe would also like to be president of Nigeria. Rauf Aregbesola, one-time governor, one-time minister. Some people had never even been all of these things and want to be president. Do you understand? One-time commissioner. So, don't you think this might also, pose some kind of a challenge for that political party to survive? Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Wells Radio.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, sir?
All right, sir. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Salami from Alaoto.
All right, thank you. God bless you, sir. You see, for me, I see the coalition, the ADC, and whereas in fact, the entire political scenario now in the country as a very welcome development. How do I mean? We all know, every discerning Nigerian knows that what we witnessed up till last week in this country portends a greater danger for the country. I mean the greater danger in the sense that for Nigeria we cannot afford to approach 2027 election with the situation, with APC all over as a last one. At the beginning, kind of behaving as if no other party in the country again, that all other parties has been reduced to nothing. The AP and ADC came. And you can see since ADC announced their adoption of, Coalition adopted their coalition, ADC yesterday. You can even see the G3 in the ruling camp, ruling party's camp. I think that tells you that everybody is G3. And the essence of opposition is that is the base of democracy. So that let people, even let the incumbents know that it serves not at any point in time, that the opposition will serve as a watchdog, so that whatever you are doing, somebody is there to kind of expose you. And that is what we want. Of course, while it is not yet Uhuru for the coalition, at the same time, it's not yet Uhuru for the incumbents too. Because incumbents now know that for them to retain power, when they have to break up. Honestly speaking, nobody likes to be unsuited. Honestly speaking. So maybe with the coalition coming on board now, it's now kind of provide an avenue for Tinubu to leave forward and say, it's no longer to be no longer the business as usual. What can we do differently? I think to stick put a kind of turn around the lives of Nigeria. I think you understand. Well, at the same time, for the PDP and for the APC too, I think it's an opportunity for them to galvanize people around. Just for me, I cannot say who will be in charge of 2027, but I know that the right person God will give us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami.
And again, I want to sound a note of advice that people have been asking about the composition of the ADC, and to look at their pedigree. What are their is there any right politician in the Nigerian political arena? Who among them is clean? Is it in APC? Is it in APDP? Is it in Labour? So people should, I think, what will determine the fate of APC essentially is the man they are able to feed as their presidential candidate.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Salami. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami. Let me come to Mr. Sonny quickly. Yes. The question I asked earlier.
Yes, I was about answering that. Yeah. The truth of the matter is that it's not a totally new party, but in terms of doing things like this at the mega stage, at a popular, widely viewed level, it's the first time the ADC is going to go through this process. But it's not just about the ADC, it's about the people there. I understand that there is an agreement that whoever wins shall earn the support of everybody.
Let's take this call. I would also want to talk about...
Hello, good morning.
All right, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, sir. This is Ruth calling from Alakia.
Good morning, Ruth from Alakia.
Yes, sir. As regards the coalition, whether coalition or not, we Nigerians are the real coalition. Because we are ready to vote out this bad governance in any available opportunity. So I will just implore we Nigerians to rewrite our story by ourselves by doing the needful in voting for personality and not political party. And we should be ready not to sell our vote as usual, because this has been the major problem.
Thank you so much. How do Nigerians, and I know you said something like that before, Ruth also called in, and Nigerians need to speak up so these people know. How do we make that happen?
The only way to make that happen is that come election day, we all troop out en masse to register our minds.
Do you trust INEC?
Well, I'll answer that question.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, West Ready.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is George. I'm calling you from Ologwe.
Mr. George, good morning.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I said yesterday, what is happening now is what we have been expecting. Because when the governor for your state has been saying that the next election is going to be between the people and APC. But I was asking a question. Under which platform are we going to contest the election? Now, we are now having coalition and other parties coming up. Now, we can now make a choice. For now, we have not decided. We are going to watch the character of people that these people are presenting before we can make a very good decision. So let them continue evaluating and moving from one party to the other. We will take our decision when we are getting close to the time. And also say that all what they are doing now is against the law because it's a timing for politicking. When the time for politicking comes up, Nigerians will choose the party we want to belong to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George from Olugweru.
Let me start by saying that what we are saying right now is not against the law. What is against the law is campaigning for a certain candidate. If you are saying that you are endorsing XYZ for the office of president, that is what is against the law. But trying to come up with a political party, saying you want to register a political party, that is never against the law. Even INEC is saying that people are bringing in applications to register their parties, and I mean they are not saying that it is illegal. What makes it what can be illegal at this particular point in time? You say, I want to vote Mr. Ayo as president come 2027. That is what is illegal, and in all seriousness, I think it's the ruling party that is, actually guilty of that because all their caucuses, the North to East, North to whatever, they are endorsing Mr. President for a second term. That is what is illegal, not forming a political party. You now said something about INEC. See, the truth of the matter is that INEC is almost certainly going to support a certain wing. However, INEC also supported a certain wing in 2015. It just didn't work. Why? The people came out en masse to vote. Yoruba people have an adage, and it says that if you are not resoundingly defeated, it may be easy for anybody who wants to be phony or mischievous to do one or two things. But if it's a resounding victory for the other party against your home party all over the country, there is no way you want to, unless you just want to set the country alight. And I'm not sure of the INEC chairman that would want to carry that tag. Nobody would want to carry such a label, not even any president. The service chiefs are going to tell you it is not doable. So let us not focus on INEC for now. We are going to get to that point. But at this particular point in time, what we need to tell the people is to be ready to tell Nigerians through their votes where they stand. Are you satisfied with the status quo? Or you want something different?
Something different. Let's talk about the position of the ADC very quickly. Their presidential candidate in the last election is speaking up and might be suing the party. Okay. And even the INEC, for all of these things, newer people coming on board and then just shifting the older ones apart like they don't exist. So let's look at what, we should expect from that party in the coming days, especially with, their history, I think established in 2015 or so, and with the new energy.
It's not a new party. Yes. I don't know if you can still remember, when the incumbent governor of Oyo State was coming together, it was also a coalition. It was a coalition of the PDP, the Accord Party, and the ADC led by Senator Olufemi Lanley. So it has been around for a while. Let's now talk about Kashuku and the other people who are saying this or that. I was listening to a guy yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, he's currently in the House of Representatives from Kogi State. His name is Abejide. And he said it that, I am the financier of the ADC, and they cannot do this behind my back. Guess what? The cap the guy wore in the picture I saw has the logo of Bola Ahmed Tinubu there. That chain link logo was on the cap the guy wore, and this same guy is speaking for the ADC. It's exactly the same problem that it's the same strategy they used to destabilize the PDP when they used people like Wike and co to destabilize the party from within. It's also the same strategy they used to destabilize the Labour Party by using Abure and Apapa from within. It's a strategy that worked for them 2 times, PDP, Labour Party. Expecting them not to use the same strategy at this particular point in time is a display of folly, in my opinion. They are still going to use it. But at this particular point in time, who exactly are the people talking here? They have made a mistake. And the mistake is that they didn't get people who control the exco of the party. It's just one member there. Is it the presidential candidate of the party that owns the party? Of course not. It is the exco, the chairman and his team that will tell you that, okay, this is where the party is going. And we also what happened on Wednesday. Ralph Nwosu, who has been the pioneer chairman of ADC since inception, said that I am stepping down so that people who are more knowledgeable and experienced in this game can come on board. It's going to be a dream come true if the ADC can become the ruling party in Nigeria. And for that reason, he said he is stepping down. So who exactly is doing Kachuku? He contested on the platform of the party. He lost at the general election, which is actually a shame on the part of the party. He brought shame to them. And now they are saying that they want to expand their coast. Let's bring in more people so that
that shouldn't be any problem.
That shouldn't be any problem. So if it's now becoming a problem, you should know the source of the problem. Just like I told you, a guy who was complaining yesterday had the logo of Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his cap.
All right, let's go to the Vanguard very quickly. ADC Coalition, Alliance of Displaced Politicians, says presidency. Now, following the takeover of the ADC by the leading opposition figure, the presidency yesterday mocked the newly formed opposition coalition, describing it as hallowed alliance of displaced politicians. And also the All Progressives Congress APC described the APC as a coalition of self-obsessed merchant of vendetta, saying it remains unperturbed by the development. Similarly, the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, slammed the anti-Tinubu coalition, describing them as a gang of failed and expired politicians. Do you think the APC is threatened by this new coalition? And how much of a threat is the ADC to the standing of the APC at the moment?
Look at them, look at their utterances, look at their innuendos since Wednesday. It's a totally different game. They have never been like this since 2023. The president himself did something on Thursday that was instructive. It's something that people cannot and should not overlook. He attacked Muhammadu Buhari, his immediate predecessor. Why? A lot of people believe that Buhari's soul is actually with the ADC. And
Why that though?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
His trusted allies are the major engineers behind the ADC. Rotimi Amici, Nasser El-Rufai, Abubakar Malami. These are people who control Buhari's highs and hairs. He may not be able to go to the ADC, but feelers are saying that they have his blessings. And guess what? Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that, I inherited an almost bankrupt economy. That is a clear indictment of Muhammadu Buhari. And in all seriousness, I am not a fan of Buhari. But look at Nigeria of Buhari. Look at Nigeria of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I will rate the Nigeria of Buhari far higher than the Nigeria.
Isn't that always the case for Nigeria?
It is not
almost all the time.
It is not always the case.
The same way some people thought during Muhammadu Buhari, Goodluck Jonathan's era was way better than Muhammadu Buhari, and so on and so forth.
I don't think it's always like that. It has mostly been like that, but not always like that. I will rate the administration of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua far higher than that of Obasanjo. And Yar'Adua came after Obasanjo. It tells you that not many bright and, altruistic politicians are in the mix, but there are still one or two of them out there. What I'm trying to say here is this. What exactly did Buhari do that Tinubu is not doing? Buhari stepped in. He didn't allow the, crushing speed and weight of the price of petrol and petroleum products to crush Nigeria, to kill Nigerians. So he picked around 80% of the cost. He was doing so for electricity and even the currency exchange rate. He was finding a way to keep it stable. He didn't do a very good job, but you can't compare what he did with what is on the ground right now. And let's look at the loan base. Since 1999, we have been having governments upon governments. As of the day of inception for this administration, the debt profile of Nigeria was 87 trillion. As of the end of first quarter, March 31st, 2025, it is now 149 trillion. And yet, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is talking about inheriting.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Hello?
Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Oh, we lost that call.
Apart from the fact that he has taken it to 149 from 87 within 3 years, he now wants to borrow an extra 40 trillion, which may take it to 190 trillion. And yet, Buhari was the one who, if he is complaining about Buhari bequeathing a bankrupt system to him, what exactly does he plan to give on to the next person?
person.
Maybe a disappearing country at that particular point in time. So it tells you that the president is jittery, and it's the same for Wiki. Wiki said something. I mean, people are accusing him of gifting his children, his two sons, swords of land in Abuja. And people are saying that, guy, you are giving land to your children in virtually every locality in Abuja. His defense is not making sense to me. Number one, he said, oh, it's a politician from Adamawa that is behind it. I mean, he didn't say Atiku, but everybody knows that it's Atiku that he's talking about. I don't buy that. He now said, well, my children are not Ghanaians. His words, they are Nigerians, and they are entitled to own lands in Nigeria. And some people are saying I gave 2,000 hectares in Asokoro, and where do you want to get 2,000 hectares in Asokoro? They are not saying that you gave them the thousands of hectares in Asokoro. They said you gave them parcels of land in Asokoro and Maitama and swords of land in Buhari, Gwagwalada. Okay.
Let's take this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. That's Benga.
Good morning, Mr. Ayo. I never knew you are a people.
Oh, really? I'm not.
Until when Mr. Ali contested.
Good morning, Benga.
All right. On the issue of the coalition,
all right.
I think this is good for our democracy that we are now having a formidable coalition. I think it's a good one for us to go because it's going to keep the incumbents on their toes. Now, granted, if I want to have a change of heart, it will be needful. Now, granted, Mr. President, I want to change some of these reforms that will better the lives of common Nigerians. And as well, it will make the incumbents to know that they need to do more for the people. That's number one. Number two, but my agitation is concerning those people that are forming the coalition. I'm talking about their character. When they did this when they were in power, when Nafi El-Rufai was the FCT minister, you and I know, entirely concerning you know better what I'm talking about. What he did when he was the FCT minister, he was living like a demigod. Even when he was the governor of Kaduna State, you know what he did. You know how he allegedly called some bandits and he gave them money to exit the state. At the end of the day, those guys collected his money and they bought more weapons with the money he gave them. And you and I know that if El-Rufai has to be in the position of UK now, if El-Rufai has been given a ministerial slot, if UK has been given this Amechi has been given a ministerial slot and some of them like that, if they are in this present regime, do you think they will be forming a coalition with Atiku? So I think these people, they are in the quest for them to annex power to themselves. That is the reason why they will be having a coalition. Because they have been out of power for some time now. Look at this guy in the former governor, this man, Fayemi. Is it Fayemi?
I mean, Fayemi was also former governor. Fayoshe, which of them are you referring to?
No, not Fayoshe. Fayemi. The one in the Fayemi or so, I'm calling him now. Now, the man as well is even moving to the coalition. And look at this guy, Malami, former Attorney General of the Federation. You and I know that Malami had little or no respect for the rule of law when he was in that position. And now he's coming to tell us. And look at this guy again, David Mark, happens to be the chairman of the coalition. David Mark happens to be in Senate chambers for good 20 years. Tell me what David Mark did to better the lot of the country.
All right.
See, those people, because in submission, they have been out of power for a longer period. So for them to annex power to them, they are coming together to come to the throne at the expense of the Nigerians.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benga. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not quite sure if Dr. Fayemi is connected to the coalition.
I'm not very comfortable.
I'm not quite sure.
Fayemi.
Yeah.
Number two, the idea of El-Rufai giving money to bandits. I mean, I'm not sure where that
Yes, I mean, it's maybe allegedly not verified. So we must put that forward. Quickly, let's go straight to our Facebook page. Adeda Mola says, as we do not have a strong opposition party at the moment, the coalition is a good development as Nigerians are tired of the APC-led administration. The present-day administration keeps impoverishing the citizens. I hope these people coming together really have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Beautiful morning to you. Thank you, Adedamola Okola. On Facebook, and Adekunle Christiana says, good morning. Let's talk about Wiki in, say, minutes or two. Wiki declares end to Rivers crisis. The FCT minister declared the peace has finally returned to Rivers State, asserting that he owes no one an explanation of the terms of the truce reached with suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Peace back.
What happened? What brought peace back?
He said he owes no one an explanation of the
truth
terms
of the matter is that the president held a peace meeting, a so-called peace meeting between Fubara and Wike.
And I mean, we saw their pictures.
And in all seriousness, is the president going to tell us that he declared a state of emergency because two people were fighting?
Let's see if we can take this in 1 minute. Hello, good morning. Hello. Yes, hello, good morning. We can hear you. 1 minute. Oh, we lost that call. Yes, let me
the truth of the matter is that the president did something unthinkable by declaring a state of emergency in Rivers simply because two people were having issues. Now, I don't even think Wike is the winner in all of this. I think the winner is Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. He knows exactly what he is doing. Now, Fubara is going to see him as his savior because he's the one who saved him. And now the grapevine is... the grapevine mail is having, information that he may also decamp to the president's party. So I think it's the president who's just playing politics with everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lali Kasani, for your time. Thank you so much for your time this morning. AM Sport will take over very quickly. Lizette, let's talk quickly. Tribute as Super Eagles legend Peter Rufai dies at 6-1. Before you take the seat, let's talk about this very quickly. Peter Rufai is a national figure to Nigeria, no doubt, and of course the world of sports locally in Nigeria. Remember Peter Rufai. If I don't remember any other person, I do remember Peter Rufai. Let me get your thoughts in very quickly, Lizette.
Yesterday the football community, was trained to sadness, and it's just a shock. But Peter Rufai died yesterday at the age of 61, popularly known as Dodo Mayana. He was a wonderful and amazing goalkeeper, won the 1974 AFCON, and it's just, it was a prolonged sickness, and he died, and sending strength and condolence to his family members and loved ones.
Amen. May God rest his soul. And I'm sure you're going to talk about that later on the show this morning. All right, that's all we can take. Thank you so much for your time. Lizette Femi Oloyade will take the seat with AM Sport. God bless you. Good morning.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual